So how many exercises are here in this grammar section? Why do it? Participle phrases, it is, it was, not only but also. Okay, not only but also. How many periods do you have for this grammar? Only 2 periods. Okay. Change then change. Change no? How many grammatical structures are there here? 3. The first one is participle. Second one, it is, it was. And then not only but also. And then when it comes to it is, it was, the same procedure, right? You write example sentences on the board, right? And then explain to your students, you use this pattern, okay, to put a particular emphasis, okay, to put a particular emphasis on certain phrases, okay. For example, it is a balanced diet. So you pick up a balanced diet to put emphasis on this, right? Meaning, meaning is the same, right? Basically, the meaning is the same, right? But in terms of emphasis, they are not the same, right? You point out the difference between these 2 different structures. Clear? And then ask your students to do the exercises and then check in. No? No. And then you give feedback. Clear? Give feedback. The last one is what? Not only, but also. What do you call this? Not only, but also. This is correlated conjunction. How do you use it? You try to present 2 related pieces of information. These pieces of information are related. For example, it is important to consider not only the relationship between diet and nutrition. So you think of the relationship between diet and nutrition, and also the influence of environmental factors on them. So these 2 pieces of information are related, and then you can use this correlative conjunction. And then you try to explain to your students this use of not only but also. And also you can use not only but also to put an extra emphasis, okay, but in a different way. Not only is used at the beginning of a clause, after that you invert, you change positions, the subject and the verb, okay. For example, she is not only smart but also very rich. And then here you can rewrite, not only is she smart, okay, but she is also very rich. Why? For what? To put an extra emphasis. Okay? To put an extra emphasis. So you try to explain the uses of not only, but also ask your students to do exercises here given in the textbook. Clear? Understand? The Kujin introduction, because there are not just one, three patterns, right? You move to, after introduction, you move to teach, and then practice, and then review. Okay? And then you ask the students to study the explanation of the different uses of participle phrases, and then ask the students to do exercises, see whether they follow the rules given to construct these types of sentences. Are your students following the rules given by you, explained by you? Okay? And then are they with you? Okay, you check. Understand? And then do the exercises, and then peer check in. Once you are finished with all these steps, what's the last step? Review the grammar section, right? All the explanations that you are giving to your students. Not only, but also it is, it was, and then participle phrases, right? And then you review, okay? Ask your students to come to the front of the class. Oh, shit told me that okay? 2 period write down grammatical rules to construct correct sentences, okay? Not the wrong sentences. If time permits, what do you understand by if time permits? If you still have time, enough time, right? You can divide the class into groups of what? How many? 4 or 5. 4 or 5. And then ask each group to do what? Choose one grammatical rule. How many grammatical rules are there here? So many, okay? Clear? And then read out the sentences. Read out the sentences. And then write down the sentences on the board. Tell it, shit to be kind of. John, see, I do a lab below, go even alone in it. 2 လက်လှည့်ပေးလိုက်ကျွန်တော်ဆရာမတို့ထွက်စေချင်တယ်အချိန်ဥစားမဖြစ်လို့เนาะ write down and then read out there are options, okay? Writing down the sentences, correct sentences, and then reading out, okay? Look kind of. And then next you ask your one representative from each group. Not everyone, not every individual, only one representative from each group. And then read out either one, right? Read out or write down, either way, okay? And then once one group has written down the sentences, ask the other groups to decide whether the sentences are right or wrong by giving reason. And then you ask the other groups, hey, check. You listen to the first group, right? Is it correct or is it wrong? Right? This is what? Peer correction, peer check-in. Okay? Peer check-in, peer correction. Grammar tena bila. Is it okay? Peer check-in, peer correction. Sama na thamo man la ma la ji ni. No? Writing down, reading out, writing down, okay? Simple. Now listening. You are going to listen do a recording. You know, if you made them, I tell you, made them. A man is talking about nutrition. You ask your students to listen and then fill the blanks. Okay? TG appear to imagine the you just okay on page number 29. And then here a man is talking about what? Talking about what? Nutrition. You ask your students to listen very carefully, and then there are gaps here, blanks. How many blanks? 10 blanks, right? So you assign your students a task. Okay, gap filling. So now we beyond it. You gap the pit at yala. That's psychology. Gap filling. Okay? With the appropriate words given in the box in exercise A. What are the words given? Very, nutrition, dietary, effects, vitamins, nutrients, fast, work, specific. There are no extras, right? So use these 10 words only one time, right? Fill the gaps. Understand? But with your students, you play the recording at least 3 times. But with you, I play only one time. Okay? That's introduction. Okay? For this listening. Okay. So you check your students' answers. Number 2. Number 2, effects. Number 3, varied. Number 3, number 4, dietary. Number 5, work. Number 6, balance. 7, 8, not specific. Well, how do you say this? Specific, right? So you can check the pronunciation, right? So that you have correct stresses, right? Correct pronunciation, okay? And then number 9, vitamins. Through a time, vitamins. Vitamin, yeah, it's okay. Vitamins, okay? The last one, nutrition, okay? So that make sure that your students understand what they are listening to, okay? So this is listening skill. So what are the listening sub-skills? What are the listening sub-skills? Listening for gist. Okay? So what do you understand by listening for gist? This is when you listen to something to get a general idea. Okay? What is it about? So here, what is it about? Nutrition. Okay? It's not about nuclear physics. Right? It's not about biodiversity. Right? It is about what? Nutrition. Okay? So listening for gist. What is it about? What is the general idea of this particular audio tape? Okay? So you don't want to understand every word. Right? You are not listening to every word. Okay? Listening to every word is not the proper way. Right? As I was saying, one in relation to what? Reading sub-skills, right? All the reading sub-skills, they are not isolated, right? They are integrated. You pay particular attention to just one thing, no. Okay? So when you listen, when you are listening for gist, right? You try to get a general idea. Okay? General idea. You are not paying attention to, but you can pay your attention to a particular word, right? But you are not paying attention to every word. No, not that. Clear? Then another listening subskill. What is another listening subskill? What? Specific. Yeah, specific information. You can also listen for specific information. This is when you listen to something because you want to discover a particular piece of information. Okay? You pay your full attention to what? To what? To particular piece of information. And then you know in advance what you are hoping to find out. And then you ignore other pieces of information, okay, that have no interest for you. Okay? Ignore and then you pay your full attention to. ဒီမှာလို့အခန်းထဲမှာပန်ကန်တန်လန့်ကြားရတယ်ဟုတ်တယ်မလားဒါပေမဲ့ဆရာမတို့ကကျွန်တော်စာပြောကျွန်တော်အတန်နားထောင်တယ်ဟုတ်တယ်မလားတချင်းတန်ထွက်လာရင်တချင်းတန်စိတ်ဝင်တချင်းတန်လှည့်လိုက်လို့ရတယ်အာယုံကဟုတ်တယ်မလား clear so you pay your attention to that piece of particular information right and then you ignore ကျန်တာတွေဆရာမတို့လို့ရှုလိုက်တယ်ရလား ignore so listening subskills the first one is what listening for gist here when they are listening လို့ရှင်ဘာဖြစ်သွားနိုင်လဲပြောကျောင်းသားဒီနားမှာကွက်သားလို့ရှင်ဒီနားလေးကိုသူကွက်ပြီးကြည့်လို့ရတယ်အဲ့ဒါပါလေ specific specific overall gist understand ပြောပြရမယ်သူတို့ပြောပြရမယ်အဖြစ်တစ်ခေါက်ပြီးသွားတဲ့ခဏတိတ်ကိုရက်လိုက်အဲ့လိုလုပ်လို့မရဘူးเนาะဒီနားမှာသူဖတ်သွားတဲ့ nutrition is a study of what is a study of what's your answer nutrients in food ဆရာမတိတ်ကိုခဏရက်ဖြည့်ရလိုက်အောင်မယ်ခဏ stop no not that way okay not that way တိထားမယ် listening for gist and then listening for specific information clear ပရမတော့ introduce လုပ်ရမယ်လေစလုံးတွေပြောပြရမယ်ရှင်း okay and then the next one ပါလေအဖြေတော်ပြလိုက်တယ်မြင်သွားတယ် what is another listening subskill မျက်လုံးကအဲ့တွက်တယ်အကုန်မြင်တယ်မြင်လိုက်တယ်ကျွန်တော်ကအရင်သဘောကောင်းတာ listening for detail very good job listening for detail နည်းနည်းလှည့်ဟပြလိုက်တယ် listening for detail so this is when you listen very closely what do you understand by very closely so what do you understand by close reading and then here close listening what is it detail okay closer why they will move no detail reading detail listening okay detail you pay your 100% full attention 100% full attention okay paying attention to all the words but remember be very careful understand as much information as possible okay as much information as possible so as much information as possible from this okay what was the man the woman talking about okay အကုန်အလုပ်ပြန်ရေးတယ်လားစောင်းပိတ်လိုက်ပြန်ရေးမယ် how many pieces of information စောင်းတွေအကုန်ပိတ်လိုက်ဘယ်လောက်ရလဲမရဘူး detail listening အကုန်စောင်းပိတ်လိုက် close your books I play the tape again right you listen to it and then close your books write down listening for detail ကဲအခုစမ်းကြည့်မလားမပါပါဘူးတင်တာเนาะမစမ်းဘူးနဲ့ကတော့အားပေးတယ်လားအားပေးတယ် okay so listening for gist the next one listening for specific information and then listening for detail here not detail right they are secondary students okay not for detail So here, when you finish with first time listening, you play the tape 3 times. When they finish first time listening, at this stage they listen carefully to catch overall meaning, right? Overall meaning, global meaning. And the second time, they choose correct words. How many words are given there? 10 words. And then third time, you check your answers. You check your answers. Peer correction and then teacher correction. Okay? Peer correction, teacher correction. Understand? Okay, Mobi. Simple. Speaking and writing are not Roma. Tima Bashi Dile. At this review stage, you check answers with students to see whether they could catch the specific information presented in the recording or not, right? So that they can imitate the native speakers' what? Pronunciation. Yeji oma vitamin lo tu thawa twa la cha la. Cha la ma thi bu. Cha la. Naw ka ho blo atan thwa ba le. Di bek ma le. Blo thwa twa la tu ka. Developing certain diseases. How did you hear the word? Developing. Then with your students, you can improve your students' pronunciation. I'm a don't chalo yala. Usiamite call pure the Inalam the pure. Pronunciation is cellular anyama. Chaunario. Yala, then go no. So that's improvement, right? Dinama not alone by nutrients, vitamins, okay? Maria about vitamin, vitamins, and then what else? What is it? Molecular biology will tell like molecular ultra della. Popoli tova della. Chala dilla. Machala molecular biology della. Not called Samaro Pianyalush, they are not on molecular biology, biochemistry, genetics, analysis, they are not on. You pay attention to particular words, right? Being said by the native speaker, right? And then you check your students' pronunciation of certain words, right? If they make mistakes, you try to improve and then correct all the wrong pronunciations. Understand? Shamaru Lulu Yara, Pyopyara, Anyama, this name. Shina. Oh, finish. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Okay, yesterday we talked about teaching reading, and then I asked you to discuss about how to teach that reading passage. Okay, so some of you have already present your idea to the class, and then I think we left some persons, some groups. Okay, so today we will carry on about that activities that we did yesterday. So, do you remember what you did yesterday? Yeah, we talk about renewable energy, right? Reading. So, in renewable energy, there are altogether 4 exercises. Yeah, exercises, and then teaching period is 4 period. So, it's your opinion whether it fits. Yeah, it's okay. Whether you can teach your students within 4 periods, about 4 periods for these exercises. Does it cover? Or I think it's 4 periods is enough to teach these exercises. Okay. Now, before I forgot, I want to mention about on page 91 and exercise C. Okay, please don't look at that TG. Don't look at the TG, and then could you please fill the blanks with the words. Oh, sorry, it's a vocabulary. Okay, sorry. So we will do vocabulary session. Okay, I thought it is in reading session. Okay, I'm sorry, it is a reading session. Okay, so in reading session there are altogether 4 exercises, and then yesterday I think 4 persons already mentioned their opinion about lesson planning. Okay, so today any volunteer to talk about that lessons, that exercise? Any volunteer? Or do you want to share your idea with your friends, with your colleague? Share လို့ဖို့ကြံသေးသလားလို့နော်၄ယောက်ပဲပြီးသွားတာ Okay, who wants to be a volunteer? ဘာဖြစ်ဖြစ်ပါ just sharing your opinion because today it's a second day, and then maybe on the last 3 days there will be micro teaching. At that time, teacher Dotiri Amadiri said she has already assigned groups into 6 groups for session A, right? Hold on, that's a B man. B man ခွဲပြီးတာအဲ့ဒါဆို teacher Mo will assign you the groups into 6 groups, and I think 6 groups. ဟောအဲ့ဒါဆိုရင် there will be altogether maybe around 6 or 7 groups in 6 groups, and then there will be 7 persons in each group. So here you will see the timetable, and then in the timetable we haven't finished all the units. We haven't finished all units, so we left 4 units. So there will be micro teaching for these 4 units, and then poems. Yeah? So you can choose whatever you want, which unit or which portion. Teacher Tomomo will assign you into groups. Okay, so right now you can share your idea with your colleagues about teaching reading for unit 8A. မနေ့ကလေကြံတဲ့သူတွေဘယ် group တွေကကြံသေးလဲမသိဘူး
The lesson is to avoid direct translation method. Isn't it, Samantha?
Yeah.
So I think by focusing on student-centered method, we can avoid direct translation method by using certain methods. As far as yesterday, I got some of the methods here, and I will tell you, and you can discuss with me, and Samaji, please correct me if I have made any mistakes.
Okay, it's okay.
Now, as soon as the teacher enters a classroom, the reading method is the same. Explain the topic and then do the pre-reading task. After pre-reading task, the teacher may explain about the topic in detail or ask the students to give the meaning of the words in the topic. But if the teacher can use English language in explaining, it is better. But all of us know that our SATs are sometimes weak in English due to their background knowledge or something. Maybe they are not majoring in English. So what I mean is, teacher explain to the students the topic of the lesson, and ask the questions based on it. After that, after the pre-reading task, teacher asks students to do the silent reading first. And during yesterday's lecture and today's lecture up to now, I'm having a doubt that no one discussed about the pronunciation here. So I think some of the points I mentioned here. And then teacher read out the passage to the students with correct pronunciation, once or twice, maybe once or maybe twice. And then ask students to list the words that they don't know in the passage. After that, make students read the passage, whole passage, silently or aloud, attentively, one para for one group or alternatively. Maybe the whole class read the whole paragraph simultaneously, or after one group will take the responsibility for one para one, and the another group will take the responsibility for para two. Then they go to alternatively and listen to each group. After reading, then the teacher asks them to find out the meaning of words they have listed on their notebook, either by looking at the dictionary or either by using reading sub-skills, by guessing, something like that. We have, I think the teacher already have the knowledge of sub-skills, or the teacher can himself or herself give or explain the meaning to the students, either using English or in bilingual. Make them read the passage themselves again. The teacher doesn't do anything. All the work are on the students. They read and read. Because once, twice, thrice or fourth time, they will be able to grasp automatically some of the, maybe the whole general idea of the passage, or maybe the meaning, the vague meaning of some words. Maybe it's not clear in their mind, but vague meaning. After students have read the passage 3 or 4 times, they have caught the general idea of the passage and can guess the meaning of some words. Will be able to guess some meaning of the some words. And then after that, without the teacher explaining the whole passage, she or he can ask the students to do the exercise number 1, or A or B or C, or if simultaneously ABC. Lastly, the teacher can explain to the passage using bilingual or only in Myanmar. In this way, we can avoid direct translation of the passage to some degree. Time allocation, whether we will give for reading 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, will depend on the teacher teaching there. That's what I have taught yesterday, and may I request your suggestions here.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you all.
Okay, one more person.
Discussions about that. In reading stage, there are 3 stages: pre-reading, while reading, and post-reading. In reading stage, then the teacher asks the students for the meanings of the topics and related the topics, and then we can ask the students or brainstorming questions, and then while reading stage, the teacher asks the students in silence reading and paragraph, not the whole text or the whole paragraph, the paragraph, and then after reading the first paragraph, the student asks to find and familiar words in concerning this paragraph, and guess the meanings. And then after finding the unfamiliar words, the students concerning the related the exercise this related this paragraph. For example, exercise A and familiar paragraph and paragraph ပဲပေါ့နော်ဒီမှာတော့တွားပြီးတော့သူနဲ့သက်ဆိုင်တဲ့ exercise ပေါ့ဥမာ A မျိုးအဲ့ဒါမျိုးကိုလည်းဒီမှာပေါ့နော် pair work အနေနဲ့သူ့လို့ the whole passage solution ကိုသူ word ဖြစ်သွားမယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့ paragraph and paragraph ပဲဟိုတွားပြီးတော့and familiar words တွေရှာမယ် and then guess the meanings ပေါ့နော်အားလုံး after all the whole paragraph ဆိုရင် in post reading မှာစာလို့ရှိရင်တော့the students ask the exercise B or C B C D ပေါ့မှာ exercise B ဆိုရင်တော့ individual ပေါ့relate and familiar words တွေရှာပြီးတဲ့ခါကျတော့ကျွန်တော်ကဟိုပြန်ပြီးတော့ဒီက individual work ဆိုတော့လုပ်ရအောင်ပေါ့ပြန်ပြီး and then the teacher can give the feedback ပေါ့နော်ပြန်ပြီးရမယ်နောက် exercise စီမှာကြာလို့ရှိရင်တော့ answer the question mark ဆိုတော့the teacher can give the students a pair work or no pair work လို့မျိုးပြန်ပြီးတော့ give your feedback ပေးမယ်။ Now exercise ဒီလိုမျိုးဆိုတော့ group work and group work လုပ်ပြီးတော့မှသူ့ကို group ပေါ်စားပေါ့နော် group work လုပ်ပြီးမှဟိုဆရာကနေပြီးပြန်ပြီးတော့ feedback ပေါ့နော်ပြန်ပြီးတော့သူ့ကို check လုပ်နေတာမှမဟုတ် group work group exchange ကိုလည်းပြန်ပြီးတော့ဘယ်က advantages ဖြစ်တယ် disadvantages ဖြစ်တယ်ဆိုတာတော့ပြောရအောင်အဲ့တော့အကုန်လုံး paragraph အကုန်လုံးကိုတပြိုင်တည်းသွားထားတယ် paragraph and paragraph မှာ meaning လေး and familiar words လေးတွေရှာမယ်ရှာပြီးလို့ရှိရင်သူနဲ့သက်ဆိုင်တဲ့ words လေးတွေသိသွားမယ်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါမျိုးပို့ပြီးတော့ခလေးရအစီအစဉ်မျိုးတော့ထင်ပါတယ်နော်ဒီမှာလေး discussion
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်
2 paragraphs and then they will read students that each group will read respective paragraph for 15 minutes and then we ask the student to find and underline the unfamiliar words and at the same time students get the unfamiliar words and they have to discuss within each group. And the teacher monitors in the classroom. And then shared by a person from each group in the class. So they will get the information all 4 groups. And then while they were sharing, all the students, the whole class have to note down their information. And then so we'll finish the first period and we'll give homework to read the whole passage again. To read the whole passage is a homework for the whole class. And then continue next second period and the next day. So teacher collects the main one from each group and then teacher will give feedback their information. And teacher assigns students to do exercise A and B, only A and B. And then they ask each group to do peer correction and teacher will give feedback. And the last period for the third period, the teacher asks each group to read again the whole passage within 15 minutes. For the third, at that time, they will have to read the whole passage. For the first period, we will assign only just 2 paragraphs. For the last time, they have to read the whole passage within 15 minutes. And then teacher asks students to do exercise C. Teacher asks students randomly for each question. And then teacher gives feedback for each question. After that, teacher discusses advantages and disadvantages of energy source within student. This is the last exercise for the student. And teacher asks students to do exercise D and give feedback.
about the topic, we use the pie chart or picture. First time, in pre-reading session, I will do the brainstorming question. We use the picture or pie charts. First time, I write down the energy. Energy, what is the energy? Do you know the energy? How do you understand the energy? Energy နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ definition ဖွဲ့ပြီးတော့ဟိုကျောင်းသားတွေရဲ့ရှီကနေသိရတဲ့ energy နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ဟာလေးတွေကိုအကုန်လုံး brainstorming လုပ်ပြီးတော့မှနောက်ကျမှ energy ထဲမှာ how many kinds of the energy ဆိုတာကဘယ်နှမျိုးရှိသလဲဆိုတာလေးကိုမေးပြီးတော့မှအဲ့ energy နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့အရာလေးတွေဒီ test ထဲဟာလေးကိုတော့ဟိုဆရာကကြိုတင်ပြင်ဆင်ပြီးတော့အဲ့ picture လေးတွေနဲ့ဟိုလောက်တိုင်း picture လေးတွေနဲ့ solar energy geothermal energy ဆိုပြီးအဲ့ဒါမျိုးလေးတွေရှိပြီးတော့ကျောင်းသားရဲ့အရေးချင်းလေးကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့မှကျောင်းသား group ဝက်ပြီးတော့အဲ့ picture လေးတွေနဲ့ group လေးတွေပေးထားပြီးတော့ solar energy ဆိုတာဘာလဲအဲ့လိုမျိုးသူတို့ရဲ့ how many kinds of energy do you know ဆိုပြီးတော့မေးတဲ့အခါမှာသူတို့သိလာတဲ့ energy တွေပေါ့ energy စွမ်းအားတွေကဟို energy ဆိုတာကဟိုသဘာဝ natural energy လည်းရှိသလိုစောစောကပြောတဲ့ renewable energy လည်းရှိပါတယ်အဲ့ရှိနေတဲ့ energy လေးတွေကိုသူတို့ကိုပေါင်းအောင် brainstorming မှာပထမ pre-reading session မှာဆွဲခေါ်ပြီးတော့မှအဲ့ကြမှာ energy နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့စကားလုံးလေးတွေကိုရှာဆိုပြီးတော့မှခိုင်းမယ်ခိုင်းပြီးတော့မှအဲ့ရဲ့ definition မေးမယ်သူ့ရဲ့ opposite meaning similar meaning အဲ့ဒါလေးတွေကိုရှာခိုင်းပြီးတော့မှ pre-reading မှာတော်တော်လုပ်ပြလိုက်ပါမယ်အဲ့ဒါလိုလေး scanning လုပ်ပြီးတော့မှနောက်အဲ့သူတို့ရဲ့ test ထဲမှာ skimming နေနဲ့သူတို့ analyze လေးတွေတားရင်လည်းတားမယ် highlight လုပ်ရင်လည်းလုပ်မယ်သူရဲ့ new words and familiar words လေးတွေကိုတားပြီးတော့မှအဲ့ဒါလေးတွေရဲ့စောစောပြောလို့ similar meaning opposite meaning ဒါမှမဟုတ်လို့ရှိရင်သူရဲ့ definition လေးကိုရှာခိုင်းပြီးတော့မှဟို matching တွဲတာလေးတွေနဲ့ pocket ကို pre-reading မှာ pocket ကိုပေါင်းယူပါမယ်ပြီးတော့မှသူတို့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ဒီ pocket နဲ့ပတ်သက်တာလေးကိုရှင်းပြပြီးတော့ feedback ပြန်ပေးပါမယ်အဲ့ဒါတွေဘယ်လောက်ထိသူတို့ memorize သူတို့ရှိမှာ energy နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ဘယ်လောက်ထိသိသားသလဲဆိုတာ pre-reading session မှာယူထားပါမယ်နောက် number 2အနေနဲ့ second stage အနေနဲ့ why reading session မှာဆိုရင်number 1အနေနဲ့pre why reading မှာ reading လုပ်နေမှာ what do you find unfamiliar word or why do you notice about this the passage ဆိုပြီးတော့အဲ့ထဲကအဓိက main idea main message လေးကိုအရင်ဆုံးသူတို့ကိုရှာခိုင်းပါမယ်ရှာခိုင်းပြီးတော့မှ how to produce the energy သူရဲ့ subtitle လေးပေါ်မှာပြီးတော့မှဒီ energy တွေကဘယ်လိုထုတ်လုပ်ထားသလဲ how to use ဘယ်လိုအသုံးဝင်သလဲအဲ့ဒီဥစ္စာတွေရဲ့အသုံးပြုခြင်းမှာသူရဲ့ benefits advantages နဲ့ disadvantages ရှိတာလေးကိုလည်းခွဲခိုင်းပါမယ်အဲ့လိုမျိုးလေးလုပ်ပြီးတော့မှ paragraph by paragraph ကို 2 periods သုံးပါမယ်အဲ့တော့3 paragraph 3 paragraph ကို paragraph ကအဲ့ထဲမှာ6ပိုက်လားမသိပါပါတယ်2ပိုက်ကိုတစ်ချိန်လောက်တော့ကျွန်တော်သုံးပါမယ်နောက် post reading မှာကျတော့ post reading ကျတော့သူတို့ကthe student can know the in detail meaning in this the passage so they can know the in detail meaning သိတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မလို့ question မှာဆိုရင်သူတို့ရဲ့ဟို higher level thinking လောက်ကိုရောက်သွားမယ်ဆိုရင် what energies do you like most ဆိုတော့သူတို့သင်ထားတဲ့ after reading session မှာသူတို့ energy အကြောင်းကိုကောင်းကောင်းသိထားတယ်ဆိုရင်ဒီ energy ထဲမှာဘယ် energy ကိုကြိုက်ဆုံးလဲဘယ် energy ကလူသားတွေအတွက်ပို့ပြီးတော့ useful ဖြစ်လဲဘယ် energy ကပို့ပြီးတော့ဟို expensive ဖြစ်တယ်ရနိုင်တယ်လွယ်ကူရနိုင်တယ်ဆိုတာလေးတွေကိုထပ်ပြီးတော့post reading မှာဆွေးနွေးပါမယ်အဲ့ discussion ပိုင်းပြီးတော့ feedback ဆရာနဲ့ပြန်ပြီးတော့ feedback ပြန်ပေးပြီးတော့မှဒီသင်ခန်းစာလေးကိုပြီးသွားပါမယ်အဲ့ဒီစောစောလိုမျိုးဟိုပိုင်းချက်ကလေးတွေနဲ့ဟိုခွဲလိုက်ကလေးတွေ6ခွဲလောက်ခွဲထားတယ် subtitle 6ခုရှိရင်6ခွဲ9ခုရှိရင်9ခွဲထည့်ထားပြီးတော့မှဒီဘက်မှာကဟိုပေါ့ wind power ရှိမယ်ဒီဘက်က hydro power ကိုဘက်က solar energy ဆိုတဲ့အခွဲလေးတွေရှိတယ်ဆိုရင်တကယ်လို့ wind power ကိုမသိတဲ့သူကwind power ပိုင်ရှင်ရှိတဲ့သူကမသိတဲ့အခွဲကနေဒီခွဲကိုလာပြီးတော့ဆွေးနွေးမယ်အခွဲချင်းဒီ exchange ပေါ့နော် sharing knowledge လုပ်သွားမယ်ဆိုရင်တော့အဲ့ဒါပြောစရာကောင်းတဲ့ဟို lecture လေးများဖြစ်မလားလို့တင်ပြခြင်းဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Our group discussed that we will follow the teaching procedures to teach the reading passage. according to the teaching procedures, first we need to introduce the topics to the students so that the students will interest the topics. So that the first thing we need to do is, in the pre-reading stage, we need to ask a few questions about the topics, concerning the topics, and it will take about 10 minutes. And then we need the student, we think the students to comprehend the whole passage, so that the passage is, I think, the students have some difficulties to read the passage because the topic is a little difficult for them, so that we make small groups and then ask them to read a different passage. And we ask them to find out the main points and also the words that they don't understand. And then after that, they will discuss the group discussions, and this so that they have some understanding. They will understand the whole passage to a certain point. And then in the second period, we ask students to read the whole passage again, the whole passage, maybe individually or in pair or in group. And it will take about, I think, 15 minutes. The teacher asks the students, after reading the whole passage, we ask the students to do the exercise. This is there. And I think the teachings after that, and we practice them to do the exercises. And ask them to do the exercise A and B. And then we can make a peer correction between the students. So that the teachers can check whether the students' answers are correct or not. And then if the answer is not correct, we can give the feedback. And in the third period, we ask the students to read the questions, each question in exercise C, and we will divide the students into two groups, and we ask the first group, Group A and Group B, and we ask the Group A to read question number 1 to number 5, and then ask Group B question number 6 to 10. After reading the questions quickly, we ask the students to find out the answer in the passage. I mean that so that we can get the specific information in the passage, and then before finding out the answer in the passage, we ask them to focus on the question's words. For example, where, why, and when, so that they can understand how to focus, what we should focus on the questions, and then find the answer in the passage. And the teachers can correct their answer, the students' answer, and giving feedback. And we will take the fourth period. I think this lesson should be 4 periods. We should take 4 periods. In the fourth period, we ask students to read the whole passage thoroughly and then to complete the table in exercise D. So that this exercise, I think this exercise can be done individually or in pair. After doing the exercise, we can check the answer and give feedback.
Yesterday and today, and then after listening to your colleagues, I think you will have somehow the ideas how to teach the text for reading. But actually, yeah, just Saya said, we need to teach them pronunciation. For example, here, photovoltaic, yeah, something like technical terms, photovoltaic or inexhaustible. Yeah, these are the words. There are some words that teachers need to teach the pronunciation to the students. So the teacher should also read aloud the text in the classroom. So to listen to the, after listening to the teacher, student will get the correct pronunciation. We hope so, right? If the teacher has correct pronunciation, the student will get the correct pronunciation. But if the teacher does not know the correct pronunciation, the students will not get the correct pronunciation. Yeah, it's very important. So when you teach SAT teachers, you should encourage them to use Google or telephone, some software, for example, in YouTube or in Google Translate or something like that. In Google Translate, there's I think a microphone, audio icon, and then it's the teacher can listen to the pronunciation. အဲ့တော့ဆရာကြီးတို့ဆရာမကြီးတို့အနေနဲ့သူတို့တွေကို pronunciation လေးတွေကိုဘယ်လိုမျိုးနားထောင်ရင်ရနိုင်မလဲဆိုတဲ့ဟာသူတို့မသိတဲ့ဟာကိုတချို့တွေကတော့မြို့ပေါ်ကဆရာမအငယ်တွေကတော့သိမှာပါဒါပေမဲ့နည်းနည်းအသက်ကြီးဆရာကြီးဆရာမကြီးပိုင်းတွေရောက်သွားရင်သူတို့ကဒီလိုအတန်တွက်လေးကိုသိဖို့အတွက် dictionary လှန်ရမှာလား dictionary လှန်ရင်လည်း phonetic symbol တွေကိုဖတ်နိုင်အောင်မှာတခြား major ကနေဝင်သင်တဲ့သူတွေဆိုရင်ပို့ဆိုးမှာပေါ့နော်အဲ့တော့ဒီကတော့ဒီလိုဟာလေးတွေကိုသူတို့ဟိုပါပေါ့နော်ဖတ်နိုင်မယ်နားထောင်နိုင်မယ်တစ်ခုချင်း check လုပ်နိုင်မယ်ဆိုရင်အဆင်ပြေတယ်ပေါ့နော်တကယ်တမ်းတော့ဒီဟာတွေကလေsoft copy ကိုကွန်ပျူတာထဲကိုထည့်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင် audio ကထွက်လာတာပဲเนาะအဲ့ဒါလေးကပေးလိုက်ရင်ကောဘယ်လိုနေမလဲဆိုတော့ကျမတို့အနေနဲ့နောက်ပိုင်းတော့စဉ်းစားသင့်တယ်လို့ထင်တာပဲနားထောင်တာနားမထောင်တာတော့ဒါသူတို့အပိုင်းပေါ့နော် live လုပ်ခြင်းမလုပ်ခြင်းကတော့သူတို့တစ်ပိုင်းပေါ့ကျမတို့ဒီဘက်ကနေနဲ့ဒီ CD ထဲမှာlistening အတွက် audio ပါမယ်ဒီ passages တွေအတွက်ကိုလည်း audio လေးထည့်ပေးမယ်ဆိုရင် at least အတန်းထဲမှာတကယ်လို့များဖွင့်ပြခြင်းတဲ့သူရှိတယ်ဆိုရင်သူတို့ဖွင့်ပြလိုက်ရင်အနည်းဆုံးတော့ pronunciation တွေကမှတ်မှားတော့ဘူးပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါမျိုးလေးတွေဆိုရင်ကောဘယ်လိုများနေမလဲပေါ့နော်ဒါကျမတို့ဘက်ကနော် provide လုပ်မယ်ဆိုရင်ဒါဘယ်လောက်မှလည်းကြာမယ်မထင်ဘူးဒီဟာလေးတွေကို audio file လုပ်ပေးမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပေါ့နော်အဲ့ဒါမျိုးလေးတွေဆိုရင်ညာပို့အဆင်ပြေမလားတော့မသိဘူးပေါ့နော်ကျွန်မစဉ်းစားမိတာပါအခုသင်နေရင်းနဲ့မှာဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့ဒီဟာတွေကိုဖတ်ပြဆိုရင်တော့ဆရာမကသူ pronunciation မှန်နေရင်တော့အဆင်ပြေတယ်ပေါ့နော် it's all right ပေါ့သူတို့ကိုယ်တိုင်ကမှတချို့အတန်ထွက်တွေကိုမသိဘူးဆိုရင်ကလေးကလည်းဒုက္ခရောက်မယ်ပေါ့နော်အလုံးတိုင်းကိုလည်းပဲကြည့်ဖို့မလွယ်တယ်လို့သူတို့ရဲ့အဖြတ်အတောက်တွေကလည်းမလွယ်ဘူးပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့ဆရာမအနေနဲ့လည်းဖတ်ပြသင့်တယ်ကလေးတွေအနေနဲ့လည်းလိုက်ပြီးတော့ပြန်ရွတ်သင့်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့အဲ့ဒါကြီးကိုတော့ emphasize မလုပ်စေချင်ဘူးဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့အတန်းထဲမှာဒီဟာတွေကိုပဲပြီးတော့ဟာပေါ့နော်အများကြီးလည်းအဲ့ဒါကလုပ်ဖို့မလိုဘူးပေါ့နော် unit တိုင်းအတွက်လည်းအများကြီးမလိုဘူးပေါ့နော်တစ်ခေါက်လောက်ကလေးက live ဖတ်လိုက်ဆရာမကပြောပြလိုက်အတန်တွယ်လေးတွေချပေးလိုက်ဆိုရင်ဒီ pronunciation ဘိုင်းက okay သွားမယ်ပေါ့နော် brainstorm လုပ်ပြီးတော့မှဒီခုနတုန်းကဒီမှာဆိုရင်ပုံတွေကြည့်လိုက်ရင်တော့ဒါကဘာပုံခေါ်ရဲဆိုတာတော့ရှင်းသွားမှာပေါ့နော်ကျမတို့အနေနဲ့ကဒီလိုစာရွက်ကိုဒီဘက်ကိုမလှန်ခင်လေးမှာဒီနေရာမှာဒီအဆင့်မှာသူတို့ကို pre reading ကိုလုပ်စေချင်တာ pre reading လုပ်စေချင်တာဆိုတော့ခါကြတော့ဒီမှာဆိုရင်energy လေးတွေ solar energy geothermal energy ဒါကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့လည်းပဲ renewable energy မှာဒီပုံလေးကိုကြည့်ပြီးတော့လည်းပဲကလေးကို brainstorm လုပ်လို့ရတယ် how many types of renewable energy ဆို students will say that in here there are only 5, no? 5 types of renewable energy. Look at the picture and then what are they? And by using these pictures, for example, how do you think? What types of renewable energy? The second picture, so something like that. You can ask the students. After that, in pre-reading activities, teachers should spend 15 or not more than 15 minutes, no, for about pre-reading stage. For example, teacher asks the students what is renewable energy, and then teachers can also use these questions, and then teacher asks students to discuss among or the person next to you asks these questions to next to you. Yeah, something like that. For example, do you use a lot of electricity at home and how? Something like that. Students to students interaction. After that, the teacher check, or the teacher goes around the classroom and then listen to the students. So, and we need to discuss, what we need to discuss is about question A to D, exercises A to D. So, for example, this is teaching, what I mean it's a debate whether do we need to read the paragraph in detail before we answer to the questions. Strong or powerful effect on something. This is a noun form. Experts in a scientific studies of climate. So this is noun form person. And then causing worry or fear. This is causing. So it's a maybe adjective or causing worry or fear, adjective or noun form, whatever it is, but it's not verb. No, it's not verb. Okay, the remains of an animal or plant that have become hard and turned into rock. So remains of an animal, so this is noun. Gases such as carbon dioxide in the air surrounding the earth which trap the heat of the sun. So this is gases such as carbon dioxide. So like that, when they read it, for example, it's very clear, they will know that person experts in the scientific studies of climate, so they will know the climatologist. They can find the answer in the first reading. In my opinion, if they read the question first and then they will read some words. Yeah? For example, CO2 emissions. So students will know that here gases such as carbon dioxide. So this is CO2 emission. Gases or other substances that sent to the air. This is emission. Okay, emission gases, carbon dioxide such as greenhouse gases. Yeah, greenhouse gases. So I think, by reading the question first, after that they read the passage very quickly, just skimming. They will answer the question number A. So I think for the first period, pre-reading and question number A can be done in the first period. So this is my opinion. And then you can change, or you can amend, or you can change, or you can substitute anything else, right? Okay, number B, fill in each blanks with an appropriate answer from exercise A. So at that time, students do not need to read through the paragraph again, yet they can just use the words from the paragraph, sorry, exercise A, and they can answer in exercise. They can answer the exercise B, yeah, question B. They don't need to read the paragraph again. So, question number C. There will be two options. The first option is teacher read the paragraph in advance. Then teacher read the paragraph and read the question. For example, question number 1 and 2, it's in paragraph 1 and 2, something like that. So, the teacher asks students read paragraph 1 and 2 and then answer 1 and 2, question number 1, 2, 3, etc. And read paragraph for hydropower and then read now question number 4. Now, this is one option if the students are weak or in the outskirts or countryside, or the students do not follow the question follow the teacher very quickly. The teacher is called guided. Yeah? The teacher asks them to read paragraph blah 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 and then do question number blah blah blah. But if the students are good, just tell them answer question number 1, 2, 3, and then they will find the answers from the passage, and then the teacher checked the answer, peer correction. After that, the teacher checked the answer. First is peer correction. The second stage is the teacher gives the answer. So in the second period, the teacher can do exercise C, B and C, or if it is for example, the students are not very good, or the teacher can use 2 periods to do exercise B and C. B and C. Or number D. For D, I think it will take 1 period. Yeah, 1 period. First, there are many options. First option is individual work. Individual work, students can do the exercises in their own, and then after that discuss each other, and then the teacher check the answer. And then second option, teacher divides the class into 6 groups: hydropower, wind power, solar energy, biomass, geothermal energy, and then the teacher asks them to take notes about advantages and disadvantages of each types of sources, energy sources, and then after that they fill in the blanks. And after that, for extended activities, teacher asks some students to make a presentation about hydropower, wind power, solar energy, biomass energy, or geothermal energy. Just make a short presentation about what they have learned, something like that. This is the second option. So, students can, depending on the students, the teacher can choose different methods. So what I will do for you is maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I'm not sure, it depends on my health. Last night I got a terrible headache, and then I didn't prepare any PowerPoint for the lesson. So but tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I will put a PowerPoint about, I will do a PowerPoint about this reading exercises. Yeah, it's with 2 options. Yeah, option 1, option 2, or You can add option 3, option 4. Yeah? Okay, so I will do it for you. And then Teacher Mo will tell you what you have to do, yeah, at the end, maybe the last 3 days in micro teaching. Yeah, maybe depending. There will be, we left 4 units, Unit 1, Unit 4, Unit 5, and Unit 9. Unit 9, so, and then 2 poems. 2 poems, so you can do micro teaching. You have to do micro teaching for these lessons. Okay, that's all for today. Yeah, see you tomorrow.